Shalom, 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 saints.
Con. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Shalom, saints. You got your brother Shamariah.
Con, brother Nasi on the scene. Shalom.
We got a mighty breakdown for y'all tonight through the Spirit, right? He that endures until the end. It's a lot of things transpiring in the earth. There's a lot of things going on. We know Bruce may be vexed in the spirit, may be weary, may be going through things that have caused them to really feel the burdens of being in captivity in America as a whole. So we wanted to touch on some of these things. I know I personally have been through some things of the recent that has caused me to understand the load that a man of the Lord actually has to carry a little bit more. First and foremost, we want to give all glory and honor and praises to the Most High Yahweh. We do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahawashi. Double honors to the elders of the house of David, of course. Brothers have been laboring for years and years before us, putting in this mighty word, giving us a righteous example to follow. A mighty shalom to all the Kadashim scattered throughout the four corners, right? Yasha Allah, Kwam Yashala. We hope y'all enduring. We pray that y'all are, you bring the spirit with you. You have your Apocrypha, you have your King James, you have notepad, pens. We'll be dealing with some things today, and we hope that it's edifying and that you're able to bear witness with the precepts and the breakdowns that we bring out. On that note, I'm gonna hand it to you, but I want to send a shout out to the house of Kananya. We lost a mighty brother this past August 18th. Beautiful brother. Met him in Atlanta. At one of the summits, been in constant contact with him ever since. The brother lost his battle to cancer. Love the brother, miss the brother dearly. May Yahawashi rest his soul. I pray that his family finds peace and comfort in this time. Family, friends, those that are near and dear to him. I had a very, very good relationship with him. Very, 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 very sincere brother, genuine brother. Loving brother, brotherly brother. I pray that anybody that was close to him can find some type of love, comfort, and uplifting of the spirit through this time. You got somebody?
Come, man. First and foremost, want to give all praise and glory right to the Most High God, Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi, man. We understand we do that in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahawashi, the righteous, right? And like the brother was just speaking on, our beloved brother Kananya, man, went to Lord willing, man, he may rest upon his soul, man. We understand that the brother has definitely lost his battle to cancer, and off the muscle when we met the brother at the summit, right? Shout out to Mashiach Yasha right, for putting on that summit back in Atlanta last year. But we met the beloved brother and got the opportunity to start building with him, But those of us who are still here, man, we still got labor and work to do, man. We still got an opportunity on this side, right, to continue to put our hands to this plow, to continue to put our brick in, to continue to prove to the Most High that we are deserving of that crown, man. So we're gonna put the information in the chat, right? For if you feel brothers want to do alms or charitable donations to the brother and his family, to the house of Kananya. We're gonna put that in the chat so brothers and sisters can if wherever you feel that your heart might be led to, you can be able to contribute to that, But we still have to be in the midst of those things. We still got to do the work, right? We still have to prove ourselves, and that's kind of the purpose. We want to a lot of these breakdowns and a lot of these studies. They're coming from real life experiences that we experience on a day-to-day basis. So it's only fair to be on a spiritual level transparent with the rest of Israel, right? With the nation, to let you know that, look, man, y'all not the only one that's going through these curses, man. Y'all not the only one that's going through these trials and these stumbling blocks. Y'all not the only one that's dealing with the vexation of Babylon, right? We going through these things too, man. And so we want to show you, Lord willing, through the precepts, man. One precept, we breaking curses one precept at a time, man.
Con.
One precept at a time, we break these curses. And Lord willing, we can do through these precepts. That's how we get an understanding. Because we can sit, and we're not going to continue to kind of dwell on this with the brother Kanani, but we want to understand what the brother meant to us. But we understand that, this is spiritual. Everything is spiritual. And with that being said, when we see things happen like a beloved brother who was taken away, we understand that he belongs to the Most High first and foremost, right? According to Ecclesiastes, what's that, 12 and 7, right? The earth shall return to the dust and the spirit shall return to the Most High who gave it, roughly paraphrased. So we understand this is a spiritual thing. So by that precept, that gives us hope, Con. Right? Because we not vexed through the flesh. Be like, oh, Lord. Now, do we feel these things? Yes, of course. But on a spiritual level, we got to walk ye in the spirit so that you don't fulfill the lust of the flesh. Right? Let me grab one quick precept in Matthew 26. Right? Matthew chapter 26 and verse 41. Right? To kind of segue us into this thing, the brother putting the information in the chat for the brother in the house of Kananya, right? It reads, this is Matthew 26, and I'm going to start at 41. It says, watch and pray. Let me start at 40. Matthew 26 and 40. And he cometh unto his disciples and findeth them asleep. Now, this is Yahushua in the Garden of Gethsemane, right? And he told Peter and the two sons of Zebedee to come with him as he went to go pray in the garden, right? To get the cup to be removed from him, which is the cup of death, right? He didn't want to be offered up, but he knew he had to. So he told them to, hey, come with me to watch my back while I go pray to the Most High, right? And let's see what happens. It says, watch and pray, like in verse 40, and he cometh unto the disciples and findeth them asleep, and said unto Peter, what, could ye not watch with me 1 hour? Right? So that on a spiritual level, some of us are asleep. Some of us are spiritually asleep. And the Most High asked him, like, man, you can't be awake just for this little bit in these end times when you see these curses unfolding, right? Verse 40, 41, watch and pray. Read that again. Watch and pray.
The what?
Watch and pray, that ye enter not into temptation, that the spirit is indeed willing, but the flesh is weak. So we understand that we're going to cleave to the spirit right now in these last days, man. No matter what trial, no matter what stumbling block, what accusation you may face, what afflictions, so on and so forth, we're going to stay spiritual, man. And with that being said, that's what it says. The flesh is weak. Our flesh is weak for the brother who's passed, man, because we feel that, man. We are carnal, sold unto sin, right? But our weapons are not carnal, but they're spiritual. I know a lot is being said, but we definitely want to put this information out there, man, to understand that we putting our hearts out here too, man, for our beloved brother in his house, and we only felt suiting, why not just go into this thing and kind of be transparent with the Aki and with the Kodashim as far as what we're facing, as a whole. You got something?
Con, I got a precept, man. Eloquently
Con, I was there
by
too.
the brother Nasi, but I just wanted to bring this precept out because, as it says in Isaiah 55 and 8, the Most High's ways is not our ways, neither is his thoughts our thoughts. So we don't understand why he may do certain things that we may have seemed to be too soon or unrighteous, but the Most High is perfect, right? So we have to try and understand his ways rather than question them, right? But we are in the flesh, as the brother said, and we are still human, but we try to find comfort and trying to figure out the Most High's ways, but we never will be able to. We just have to be at peace with how he moves and pray that he grants us comfort in these times, right? This is Isaiah 57 and 1. And it says, the righteous perisheth, and no man laid to heart. And merciful men are taken away, none considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come. Now, me actually having a relationship with the brother, I know that what he was battling, and that some days were better than others. Um, you know, it's a it's a it's a it's heartbreaking to see your loved ones um, battling sickness and withering away before your eyes. So I actually dealt with that with my mother as well. So seeing that and having a constant life of pain and not having soundness in your body and sometimes even your mind because of the things that you're battling is no way to live. So with that being said, right, the Most High might have seen his suffering and felt like that he had seen enough. Um, so again, we have to continue to understand that it's bigger than us. You know, we can grieve for one brother or sister that we feel near and dear to, but the Most High is losing his children day in and day out. So we have to keep an open mind and understanding about these losses that we may endure, because though he may be a brother to us, he's a child of the Most High, right? I got one more precept. I'm gonna finish this one out. And I got one more. It's Isaiah 57 and 1 from the top. The righteous perisheth, and no man lay it to heart, and merciful men are taken away, none considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come. He shall enter into peace, and they shall rest in their beds, each one walking in his uprightness. I got one more in the book of Sirach. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 30. And I'm gonna start at 15. Actually, I'm gonna start at 14. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 14. And it reads, better is the poor being sound and strong of constitution than a rich man that is afflicted in his body. Health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth. There is no riches above a sound body, and no joy above the joy of the heart. Death is better than a bitter life of continual sickness.
You see that?
So knowing and understanding that, we have to understand that, the brother actually passed from cancer. Cancer can be very grievous, especially if you're having different treatments and radiations that's tied to it as well. So knowing and understanding that, if the Most High seen it fit for the brother to give up the ghost and come back home, then it has to be well with our soul.
Right? You got some more on that?
So that I yield.
One last precept, kind of going back into how the Most High was dealing with Israel when it was coming out of the land of Egypt, or prior to them, at the cusp of them coming out of the land of Egypt. This is Exodus 3 and verse 9. We're going to get straight to it, and then we're going to get to the breakdown, right? Exodus 3 and 9. It says, now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel is come unto me, and I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppressed them. Come now, therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. Now, you can ask me, well, why not see was you bring this precept out? This is dealing with Moses speaking to the children of Israel on the behalf of the Most High, hearing their cry. Well, this is spiritual too, man. We understand that this brother, just like we brought out in that Matthew 26 chapter, dealing with the 41st verse, how Yahushua prayed for that cup of death to be removed from him, right? So did this brother too as well, right? And so did us, man. Understanding the trials that this brother was going through, right? We pray for that cup to be removed too, but we understand, as the scripture says, as thou will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
That's right.
Right. So we got to be at peace with that. right? So we put the information in the chat, right, for the brothers and sisters to be able to donate as you will. We're not gonna further ado this class. We're gonna get straight into it, right? Dealing with enduring till the end, right?
Right, because a lot of things, death is promised, right? Affliction is promised, captivity is promised to us. A lot of these things we go through, it can deter you from the path. It can weigh heavy on your spirit. It can increase your vexation, but you have to gird up, right? You have to be willing to fight this battle until the very end, right? You cannot grow weary in a world. Brother got a precept, right? Brother Nakai pulled a precept.
Now that's one I just pulled in Exodus.
Okay, come,
Con.
Salaki. But we cannot grow weary of well doing. And with that, let's get Galatians 6 and 9. I'm already here. I'll bring it out. It's the book of Galatians, chapter 6 and verse 9. And it says, and let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap, if we faint not.
You see that? And that's cut and dry, man, because on the previous, at the verse 1 on down, it's talking about the spiritual brothers restoring the ones who might not be spiritually strengthened in those moments.
That's right.
And we dealing with a brother who was spiritually weak and vexed. So us being in the spirit, and you gotta bear ye one another's burdens.
That's right.
Right. And you can't be growing weary of well doing. Why? Because the scriptures also tell you in this same chapter, you gotta consider yourselves. Man. What if it was you?
Right.
Right. And you was broken down. Right. And as pillars, you know what I'm saying, and laborers in this truth, we go through things too. You know, and we have to be able to vent too as well. So when we venting and we have to understand that by us going through these things, we need an outlet too. So we, Lord willing, hey, Brother Shao, he got to be spiritual enough for me when I'm weak. You know what I'm saying? When I'm going through it, and vice versa. And Lord willing, you brothers and sisters that's on this breakdown, regardless of what situation you might be going through, you got a brother and sister that might be dependent on you on a spiritual level to be strong for them right now in this moment.
Hey, we dependent on you.
Hamashiach
dependent on you, right? It's bigger than just our physical brothers and sisters. We have spiritual loved ones, people that love you more than you may even love yourself, that's dependent on you to cleave unto this word, right? Because they have an understanding rather than the future generations that can be carried out through our seed line. So we have to continue to not waver in this thing, to gird up, to put on the armor of the Most High, to be men of valor, mighty men, right, righteous sisters, and continue to put the first works forward. Right. I'm gonna read this again. Galatians 6 and 9. I read through 10. And let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. As we have therefore opportunity, let us do good unto all men, especially unto them who are of the household of faith.
You got to do this work, man. Next precept, we got Matthew 10 and 22. Right, Matthew chapter 10 and verse 22.
Yeah, go ahead.
And it reads, and ye shall be hated of all men for my sake, for my name's sake. But he that endureth to the end,
that what?
He that endureth to the end shall be saved.
Shall be saved, right? So this is not a sprint. It's not just a quick race. This is a marathon. We have to continually, run this race, fight this fight, right? You know what I'm saying? Make our today better than our yesterday. Continue to strive for the kingdom and fight for righteousness. We know this world is full of darkness. We can't allow the enemy to dim our light, right? We are the light of the world, right? So we have to continuously shine our light, even when we feel like our spirit may be growing dim. If that's the case, you got to come back to the light, which is the scriptures in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. If you feel your light dimming, your spirit growing weary and sorrowful, you have to lean on your power source. Same thing like we said before as an example. If your phone is going dead, right, you're not going to hook it up to a battery charger. You're going to hook it up to the charger that works for the phone. So the charge that you need, it's not going to come from the world. It has to come from the scriptures. It has to come from your power source, right? You on that.
Kind some more, and I'm gonna get this last part. This
Kind.
is 23, Matthew 10 and 23. But when they persecute you in this city, flee ye into another.
Do what?
Flee ye into another. For verily I say unto you, ye shall not have gone over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man be come.
Right.
And no matter where you turn, where you go, man, you gotta endure this thing till Hamashiach comes.
That's right.
You gotta keep the faith, man. That's what this is about. No matter what you're going through. Right. Next precept.
Khan, this is the book of John, chapter 6 and verse 27. And it reads, labor not for the meat which perisheth.
You see that? Don't be just out here just trying to get the bag when it's going to perish at the end of the day.
Right.
According to 1 John 2, what's that? And 10 on down. Mm-hmm. The earth shall pass away and the things thereof. So don't just work and do this work. You're working for the wrong reasons if that's what you're trying to do.
That's right.
Right. Go ahead, Ak.
It says, labor not for the meat which perisheth, but for the meat which endureth unto everlasting life.
Right, that meat that endureth to everlasting life. I'm got to get this. Matthew 4 and 4 real quick. What is that meat that it's talking about? Right? This is Matthew 4 and 4, and it reads, but he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High. Right, so that's the bread, that's the meat that you should be cleaving to in these last days. That's never going to perish. It's not going to expire, man. That's the body, that's the blood of Hamashiach Yahushua. Right, you got some on it up.
Which the Son of Man shall give unto you, for him hath Yahweh the Abba sealed.
Right, so it's only going to come from Yahushua via the Most High. Right, we're going to keep it rolling through the Spirit, man, because there's a lot of precepts on these topics. And we want to make sure we address each and every one, and make sure that let the scriptures do the talking. Right. This is 2 Corinthians 13, and I'm gonna start at 4. Right. 2 Corinthians 13 and 4. I'm gonna read through 8, and it reads, "For though he was crucified,
he was what?
Crucified through weakness. Yet he liveth by the power of the Most High."
He liveth by what?
The power of the Most High.
No, by the flesh of his own.
By the power of the Most High.
By his own power.
By the power of the Most High Yahweh.
So we cannot do this thing on our own. It's not nothing that you can do that'll bring you back to life, right? You have to cleave to the power of the Most High. Now, where can the power of the Most High God be found? In the scriptures. This is what's going to revive you when you're feeling weak, when you're feeling lowly, when you're feeling oppressed and suppressed from the powers that be of this world. Because we know the word God and power, it just means power. So there are gods and powers in this world that are contrary to your spirit and the spirit of the Most High God. So in order to recharge or refurbish or regenerate that spirit of the Most High God, you got to tap into the power source. It's just like with working out. You're not going to see results if you just working out one day a week, but you still other 6 days a week, you doing what you want to do, eating what you want to eat, moving how you want to move. In order to see those results quickly and expediently, you're going to have to continuously tap in to the gym. Or for you to see your spiritual muscles grow, you're going to have to continually tap into your power source, right? What you got? You said on that? You had some more. I know you did.
Yeah. Right. I'm going to keep it going through the spirit. This is 2 Corinthians 13 and 4. For though he was crucified through weakness, yet he liveth. He crucified through weakness, which is the flesh, yet he liveth by the Most High, by the power of the Most High Yahweh. For we also are weak in him.
We are what?
Also are weak in him, but we shall live with him by the power of Yahweh, by Shem Yahushai toward you. Examine yourselves.
The what?
Examine yourselves.
You got to look at yourself, man. You got to look at your works. You got to look at the things that you're conjuring up in your mind. You have to check your spirit. Read.
Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith.
And you got to check your faith. If you always growing faint when the smallest thing happen, right? You know what I'm saying? You got to check, where's your faith? Where's your power? If all these things, worldly things, are happening to you, and they tend to overthrow you every time you're going through some type of ailment or tribulation or trial or test, where then would be your testimony? You got to keep in mind that the Most High has to try you and prove a friend. Right? Go ahead, King.
Verse 5. Prove your own selves.
Do what?
Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves? How that Yahushua Hamashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates?
Except what?
Ye be reprobates.
Now, if you start to
waver,
right?
Question, doubting.
Go ahead.
Verse 6. But I trust that ye shall know.
You shall what?
Ye shall know that we are not reprobates. Now I pray to the Most High that ye do no evil.
That what?
Ye do no evil.
Read.
Not that we should appear approved, but that ye should do that which is honest, though we be as reprobates.
Though we what?
Be as reprobates. So this is kind of coming to you too as well, because you can be going through something so much, and you at a wit's end, you like, you know what? I'm about to get carnal. Right? And you can give it up, man. You can really give up the ghost. Not
physically died,
right?
But spiritually,
but you're gonna give up the spirit,
right?
Which supposed to be dwelling in you. You can literally give up the ghost and go back to the world, man. Right. And now you're gonna start doing evil deeds to try to suffice the earthly vexation that you're going through when on the spiritual level. Your spirit is it's at peace, right? And that's what the scriptures tell you. It says that the Most High has a peace that surpasses all understanding, right? No matter what you're going through, if you lean on the scriptures, He's gonna give you a peace that's gonna, whatever understanding you might think you have of this is why it happened. Hey, you gonna fall short of that every time. Like the brothers say, his ways is higher than our ways, right? And we only prophesy in part. I got a couple precepts.
So but
go ahead.
All you looking for really is a fix. And when you go to the world, it's just a patch. It's not a fix. It's a temporary remedy. But it's not the fix that you need to make yourself whole again, right? To make yourself whole, you have to go to the one that created you.
Hey, like you just have to go through this though, yes? Right? You have to get a patch. But on the spiritual level, man, the real replacement is expensive. It's gonna cost more. You're gonna have to put some work in.
Right.
But that's what our people would rather do. They would rather go with the patch to just temporarily kind of get them through the day. But hey, we need a concrete. We need a
fix.
Yes.
We need a fix, not a patch.
Not something that's
not temporary. A plug.
Right.
Go ahead.
Picking up at verse. So we finished that up in 2 Corinthians 13, and that was 4-8.
Right.
But on a spiritual level, man, we got to get this in 2 Corinthians 12 and verse 7. Right? 2 Corinthians 12 and 7. Let's see what Paul was talking about. And this can kind of allude to what our brother was kind of going through and what we go through today, right? Through the Spirit. 2 Corinthians 12 and 7. And lest I should be exalted above measure, through the abundance of the revelations, there was given to me a thorn.
A what?
A thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure.
Lest what?
Lest I should be exalted above measure. For this thing I besought the Most High thrice, that it might depart from me. Right? And you might be praying every day, man, for the Most High to deliver you from something, man. But we got to understand that His will is higher than ours, man. So we got to continue to throw up those arms, continue to be obedient, continue to be reverential to the Most High Yahweh, and keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. That doesn't change, right? We got to understand that at the end of the day, that's what's going to get us out of this predicament. That's what's going to get us out of this situation, no matter what thorn you might be dealing with, no matter what type of issue you might be dealing with. But Paul himself, he had something in particular that he was dealing with. But watch this in verse 9. And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee.
Mm-hmm.
For my strength is made perfect in weakness.
It's made what?
Perfect in weakness.
That's right.
And that's what we're pleading with Israel today. You don't got to put on a facade. You don't got to put on some type of external hard exterior. It's okay to understand that you're going through something, man.
And it's mighty because a lot of times the only way the Most High can reach you is when you going through something.
Come on, because if you don't, as a father, so like y'all, as a father, if you see that your child has something, you're gonna let them have it,
mm-hmm.
right? But it's only until my son humbles down
mm-hmm.
and says, "Hey, Abba,"
even if you know
mm-hmm.
he can't really handle what he has,
but he got to see it for himself.
Right. And it's the only time. Hey, we say this all the time. The only time Jake can be reached is the Most High afflict their flesh.
And I was talking to somebody earlier today, this week, and I was saying the only time we able to look up to the Most High is when we brought low. Right, when you don't hit the rock
man
bottom,
is prideful. Man always got his head up in arrogance,
mm-hmm.
puffed up in pride and his ego, right? But when the Most High brings you low, the Most High forces you to your knees.
Mm-hmm.
Then will you look up and call upon him. But long as Jake is up on his feet, sound in body, sound in mind, lacking in spirit, then Jake has a sense of entitlement,
mm-hmm.
right? You know what I'm saying? But the Most High will humble you. It's the Most High that brings a man low and exalts a man. So all these things that coming to pass is the Most High's doing. We got to give him his due diligence and let ourselves know that he is honorable and worthy of that praise. I yield. Go ahead.
We're gonna get the next precept.
I'm there. It's the book of Luke, chapter 12 and verse 47. The book of Luke, chapter 12 and verse 47. And that servant which knew his Lord will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes.
Mm-hmm.
But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes.
Right.
For not whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required.
You see that? Because no matter what you have been given, it could be and this is kind of dealing with the talents. We're gonna get into that in the book of Matthew. How brothers and sisters been given lots in this thing. Right? Yours might be a big lot. You might be a reader. You might be a teacher. You might be somebody who will be holding posts. You know,
a governor, a judge, right? A priest.
We all have different offices in this thing. But just because your office might seem few, you have to understand that's much to the Most High.
That's right.
That's much. And so with that little much that you've been given, much is required of you.
You got to keep in mind, like, for the pinky toe is a small member of the body.
But if
everything. You lose it, you will never walk the same. Right? You know what I'm saying? The thumb is a small member on the body. But if you lose it, it's a lot of stuff you won't be able to do.
I was saying too, this is kind of if you have eyes to see, the carnal saying the grass is not always greener on the other side of the fence.
Mm-hmm.
Right? A lot of times you can be the reason why you want to give up your office, right, because you see somebody else in their office,
right,
and it's green over there. But what are you doing with the months that you've been given to water your grass that's on this side?
You got to keep in mind the Most High deals with quality and not quantity. Just because you don't have SUC is not a large body, but we continue to strive for the Most High and do the works from what he's put on our spirit. And a lot of mighty things can come from small, established congregations, established parties, or members. I've seen wisdom tooth bring grown men down to their knees in tears. And it's just a tooth, right? It's certain things that how the Most High set this up that will show you that it's not all about the glorified body parts, members, contributions, donations, works. It's the small things and the details that is pleasing in his eyes. When you can do more with less, surely you can do more with more, right? Go ahead, King.
That was it on Luke 12 and 47. I think that was through 48. And we're going to get 1 Corinthians 13 and 4 because I missed that. I'll grab 2 Corinthians 13. I grabbed 2
You grabbed 2 Corinthians 12. I'm at 2 Corinthians 13 and 5. But did you have something for?
No, I'm in 1 Corinthians now.
Okay, go ahead.
Go 1 Corinthians 13.
I'm going to go to 2 because I'm
on.
We have 1 Corinthians 13 and 4.
Con.
1 Corinthians 13 and 4. Nakai.
Con. This is 1 Corinthians 13 and 4. It says, charity suffereth long. You see that? And is kind.
And is what?
Kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself. It is not puffed up. Doeth not behave itself unseemingly. Seeketh not her own, and is not easily provoked. Thinketh no evil. Right. So this is kind of dealing with love and how that it's essential to have this understanding so that whenever we are going through these things, we understand that love is going to suffer long. Right. It's going to be long suffering. Right. It's going to be charitable to our other brothers and sisters. Right. It's going to bear each other one another's burden. It's going to let brotherly love continue. Right. You got something up?
Read through 8.
Con.
I think I pull what you want and you pull what I want.
Yeah.
So read through 8.
Con. This is verse 7. Verse 6. 1 Corinthians 13 and 6. Rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth.
In the what?
In the truth.
Which is the laws, right? Go ahead.
Beareth all things.
Do what?
Beareth all things. Believeth all things. Hopeth all things.
And what?
Endureth all things.
And endureth all things. It's going to be a lot of stuff, being that we are the children of God, that's placed at our doorstep, at our foot, from the curses to everyday racism, vexation of the spirit, all these different ailments that come with being in Babylon under the oppression of a people that's trying to murder you. It's so many things that we have to endure as a nation, not as Shamariah, not as Nasi, not as SUC, not as who on here, Nakai, Judah, Brother Kalak. It's a lot of things that we have to endure as a nation, but we have to keep in mind that we're enduring these things as a nation, right? It's not something that is privy to just me, or something that's just privy to just this tribe or just these people. Man, we all going through it. We all going through the same thing, bro. We all are subject to these curses. We all have the enemy's foot on our neck. We all are battling vexation of the spirit, trying to balance the spirit of discipline, trying to balance the fruits of the spirit, right? Trying to learn how to love our brothers from being taught so long how to hate them. Trying to learn how to rebuild the Israelite household when in the world the Israelite man and woman are against each other. Trying to learn how to swallow our ego and pride and bite our tongue in this bondage of a world in captivity on these jobs. It's so many things that are causing us to be deterred from the truth, driven away from spiritual soundness, driven away from the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. But we have to hold fast. We have to believe on Hamashiach. We have to endure to the very end, because that's the only thing that's going to redeem us out of this captivity. You can't give in to the ways of the world. The Most High don't want the weak. He dealing with those that are sound in mind and are keeping the commandments and the faith in Hamashiach. That's the only thing that's going to get us out of here. We've tried everything else. We tried marching. We tried protesting. We tried violence. We tried moving away from them and establishing our own cities. We tried everything else except keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. We got to come back and do it his way, because our way is not going to work. I'm going to pick up where the brother left off. I'm going to read verse 7 again. This is 1 Corinthians 13 and 7. It says, beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. Charity never faileth, but whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. So we know and understand that a lot of these things that have been set up um, by man, right? Whether it be the rudiments of the world, whether it be the philosophies of man, whether it be the actual physical land of captivity. They have it in their mind that these things are going to last forever. But the only thing that's everlasting is the Father, right? And his only begotten Son and the seed line of his chosen. New Jerusalem, right? Things that we are hoping for. That's why it says that we have to believe it all things, right? Whether it be an evil spirit or a righteous spirit, believe it, whatever it shows you. And we have to hope it for all things. We got to hope for this new kingdom. These are the only things that we got to hold on to. Nothing in this world we can hold on to. All these things that are promised to us through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, through the blood of Hamashiach, these are the things that we have to hope for, pray for, look forward to, pray about, remind the Most High, give him the charge. Remember, you said that you would never allow your righteous to be a beggar of bread. Remember, you said that you were going to send your only begotten Son to redeem your children. Remember, you said that eyes have not seen and ears have not heard what you have in store for us, right? Remember, you said it's your heart's desire to give your children what they require. I'm paraphrasing, of course. But these are the things that we have to give the Most High charge for, because we have to continually, just same way these curses is laid at our feet, we have to lay that charge to the Most High. You said you're gonna redeem us out of this, and it's we ain't gonna throw in the towel, but it's a mighty burden that we carry, and we're praying that you send some type of strength. So, like, y'all go ahead.
You know, the script at 1 Kings 2:2, the Most High tell you, man, hey, show thyself a man.
Right.
You got to show yourself a man. I got to pull it back up. But you got to show yourself a man in this thing. You know how easy it is for us to go back to the world? Right? You know how easy? That's weak, though, man. It's no strength in that at all whatsoever. It's easy to go back into the world and get carnal, man. It's easy for Jake to be going through it, vexed, pockets hurting, and just to throw on a mask, man, and just go back into the way. Hey, bro, let me go ahead and get that. It's easy for that to happen, man. But we can't. They say that it's easy to do the wrong things, but it's hard to do the right ones, man. We got to stay steadfast in this truth, man. 10 toes down. We're gonna keep it rolling through the spirit.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 4, verse 28. The book of Sirach, chapter 4. I'm gonna start at 28, man. The book of Sirach, chapter 4, verse 28, right? And it reads, "Strive for the truth unto death, and Yahweh shall fight for thee. Be not hasty in thy tongue, and in thy deeds slack and remiss." Go ahead, Ak, you got it.
Right. So it says you got to strive for this truth until death, man. Right. You got to really be in this thing, man. You got to understand that, hey, it's nothing that's going, what's that? Romans 8. It's neither heights nor depths, nor angels, no principalities, nor the things below that's going to separate us from the Most High, man.
That's right.
Right. I got to find that, man. You can keep going on that. But that's what this is about, man. Nothing should separate you or pull you out of this truth. Right. And if anything is, whether it's your children, right, your ribs, your Esau, right, you should be locked in this thing, man. I think it was Romans.
I got it.
You got it? Romans 8 and 20?
35.
35, come. Go ahead.
It says, I'm going to go right into it.
Come.
It says, "Who shall separate us from the love of Hamashiach?
Mm-hmm.
Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine,
you see that,
or nakedness or peril or sword? As it is written, for their sake we are killed all the day long.
You see that? We
are accounted as sheep for the slaughter."
And that's what we're going to go through, because Paul knew about it too. We're going to get there real quick. 2 Corinthians 11 and 25. Some on that? Go ahead.
"Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. For I am persuaded that neither death
Mm-hmm.
nor life.
Come on.
It says neither death nor life. Living your life, what living your best life shouldn't separate you from the Most High. Giving up the ghost shouldn't separate you from the Most High, right? Nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of Yahweh, which is in Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, our Adawan. You got it, all right.
Right. Let's get 2 Corinthians 10 and 25 real quick.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 25.
Right, because we got to understand we service in this thing.
Corinthians.
2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians 10 and 24. 11. So like 11 and 24.
2 Corinthians 11 and 24. Of the Jews, 5 times received I 40 stripes.
Right, Paul was going through it, man. He received 40 stripes by his own brothers and sisters, man. Right, you gonna witness these things. Some of you already are going through these things right now. Right, go ahead.
Thrice was I beaten with the rod. Once was I stoned.
Come on.
Thrice I suffered shipwreck.
Brother was out here treading water, man. Right, read on.
A night and a day I have been in the deep.
Man, you don't know what it's like out here. That's what Paul is saying. You don't know, and that's what Jake always go to. Man, you don't know, brother. You ain't been through this. Hey, you don't know, man. Right? This is a servant of the Most High God, Yahweh, man. Right? 10 epistles that his brothers wrote, man, on the behalf of the gospel. Go ahead, Doc.
And journeyings often in perils of water and perils of robbers.
Right? He had tempestuous storms. Brother done been through we talking about Brother Jake go through what Hurricane Melissa and Henry, and hey, this brother was really going through it right now. Go ahead, Doc.
Tsunamis. In perils by mine own countrymen. In perils by the heathen. In perils in the city. In perils in the wilderness. In perils in the sea. In perils among false brethren. In weariness and painfulness, in watchings often, in hunger and thirst.
Come on.
In fasting often, in cold and nakedness. Besides those things that are without, that which cometh upon me daily, the care of all the churches.
Right. If you really not going through these things, man, the Most High God, even with Paul, it's no respect of persons. But he not trying to hear it, man. Everybody gonna go through these things. Nakedness and want of all. These are curses. That's what the Most High promised that will befall us for the transgressions of our forefathers. Right. So we all gonna go through it. So what we telling our brothers and sisters through the Spirit, hey, man, gird up your loins, man. Lean on your brothers in these times.
That's right.
Don't be too proud to ask of a hand, and don't be too proud to lend one in these days. Right? I yield on that.
I got precept. This is
Go ahead.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 28, and I'm gonna start at 18. I'm gonna start at 19. And it reads, Acts 28 and 19. But when the Jews spake against me, I was constrained to appeal unto Caesar, not that I ought to accuse my nation of. For this cause, therefore, have I called for you to see you and to speak to you, because that for the hope of Israel, I am bound with these chains, right? So Paul, as he said, the brother was going through it. He was bound for the hope of Israel, right? Not for all the nations, not for himself, but just himself, right? It was for the nation. So these afflictions that you may find yourself going through, these chains of darkness, afflictions of the flesh, you got to keep in mind, bro, the whole nation is going through this.
Precept.
and understand that we doing it for the kingdom and for our people.
I'm gonna give it right back to the brother.
Go ahead.
Sirach 33 and 17.
Read.
Consider that I labor not for myself only.
I do what?
Labor not for myself only.
Read.
But for all them that seek learning.
But for what?
For all them that seek learning.
You got it.
That's what Paul was going through, man. And that's what we going through right now in these last days. The breakdowns that we going through, it's not just to give us healing on a spiritual level, but we understand that our nation is weak. Mm-hmm. Our nation is broken. And Lord willing, if these precepts can give us comfort in these last days, Lord willing, it can do the same for our brothers and sisters.
It has to. That's what they're there for. How else could we make it without this truth? How else could we got a precept? It's just Proverbs 13 and 22, right? It says, a good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children. Mm-hmm. And the wealth of a sinner is laid up for the just. So the Most High is the everlasting Father and the Father of fathers, the Father of lights. Shouldn't this inheritance be much more than what an earthly father can leave to you? Shouldn't these scriptures from Genesis to Revelations, with no hesitation, shouldn't this be so much more powerful than what an earthly father can leave you? This is the book of life, the bread of life. Baruch 4:1 says, those that leave it
shall die. Right. Got some on that?
Go ahead. All right.
Of
course I got some more. Go ahead.
Man. It's a lot of this, man. Like we said, man, Lord willing, we breaking curses one precept at a time, man. And you know, we under a lot of curses, so that requires what? A lot of precepts. Right.
Forget that.
Right. This is 1 John 5. 1 John is a classic 5 and 2. 1 John 5 and 2, it says, by this we know that we love the children of the Most High.
That we what?
That we love the children of the Most High. Mm-hmm. When we love the Most High and keep his commandments. For this is the love of the Most High.
This is what?
The love of the Most High.
Read.
That we keep his commandments.
That we do what?
That we keep his commandments. And his commandments are not grievous.
They're not what?
They're not grievous. Right? We got to understand that these things are not hard, man. We just been conditioned, man, and we got to break these strongholds, right? Go ahead, Salaki.
We got to break these strongholds, man. We got to stand up for the Most High. We got to take this charge. We got to understand that the Most High has a requirement for us, and we have to accept it and fulfill it. We have to do it, bro. It's non-negotiable, right? This is something as men of the Lord, daughters of Zion, trying to raise up a righteous generation. These are the things that's required of us. Put your own wants, desires, and pride to the side and do what's best for the nation, right? Quick precept. It's going to be Baruch, classic precept, Baruch 4 and 8. What's it like it? Baruch 4 and 28. Baruch 4 and 28. And it reads, for it was your mind to go astray from Yahweh. So being returned, seek him 10 times more, right? All the things that we've done in the world prior to coming into this knowledge of truth. Hey, we worthy of this affliction. We worthy of these burdens. We worthy of the furnace of adversity. We worthy of all these different curses that have overtaken our nation. It's not unjust. Is there unjust with the Most High? Because you being afflicted and you feel like, hey, it says nothing is overtaking you as anything that's uncommon to man. Roughly paraphrasing. We all going, this is coming to the Israelites. The things that we going through, they're coming. All the Israelites going through it, not just you. It's us going through it as a nation. But what can redeem you out of that? How do you remedy that? Choosing the Most High, right? Real quick, this is Sirach 5 and 7. Sirach 5. and 7. It says, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. And suddenly shall the wrath of the Most High come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. Right? So we got to understand that while the Most High has given us opportunity to come back and lean on him and choose his way of righteousness, we got to do that. It's so many times, if we can revert back, that the Most High has given us grace and mercy. We say it all the time in the congregation. We've all done things worthy of death. So the fact that we still here in the position to go off and stray away from the Most High shows you that he's been gracious to you, because a lot of us should have been cast away a long time ago. So while we here and we still have the opportunity to praise the Most High, it says nobody can praise the Most High from the grave. Right? The covenant of the grave is unknown. Right? So while we're here, we got to exalt him as much as we can. And guess what? Even when you do, you still gonna fall short. You still not gonna give him the proper due that he deserves, that he requires.
Did you just pull that?
I didn't.
Okay.
I'm just talking. I got another precept. Well, go ahead and get that since you're going there.
This is Sirach 43 and verse 30, I believe. It says, it's Sirach 43 and 30. When ye glorify the Most High, exalt him as much as ye can. For even yet will he far exceed.
Will he what?
He far exceed. And when ye exalt him, put forth all your strength, and be not weary, for ye can never go far enough.
You can never go far enough with giving the Most High the glory that he deserves. It's not enough that you can say for someone that sits outside of time, who's been putting in these righteous works longer than you've been in existence. You don't have enough words. Your vocabulary is not deep enough to give the Most High what he requires.
Words, work,
acts, right? Deeds.
Yeah,
you don't have the capacity, right? That's why we should always be humbled by his mercy and his grace.
But you know what, a worldly Jake will like, well, if that's the case, well, what's the point? If there's nothing I can say, nothing I can do to prove, then what's the point? Hey, you being carnal, man. You being carnal. All right, we're gonna keep it rolling. That was Sirach 43 and 30. You had something else out?
No, let's go.
Right, we're gonna keep it rolling through the spirit. We got Isaiah 30 and 19. Right, Isaiah chapter 30 and 19. Real quick. Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 19.
3 through 21.
For the people shall dwell in Zion at Jerusalem.
They shall what?
Dwell in Zion at Jerusalem. Thou shalt weep no more. He will be very gracious unto thee at the voice of thy cry.
Right. He's going to be very gracious unto you if you come to him. Like and it's the Most High reiterates that time and time again. It's a process to repentance. You don't just, oh, I'm sorry, and then go off and do your own thing again. You got to come to the Most High and make supplication. Turn from your ways, change, repent, be fully repented. Right? Go ahead.
Gracious unto thee at the voice of thy cry. When he shall hear it, he will answer thee.
He will what?
He will answer thee. And though the Most High give you the bread of adversity.
The what?
The bread of adversity.
What do we eat here in Babylon?
Bread of adversity. And the water of affliction.
The what?
The water of affliction.
What do we drink here in captivity?
The water of affliction.
Go ahead.
Yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore.
But still, even the teachers that you're seeing on the highways and byways, they eating the same bread of affliction that you eating. The same or the bread of adversity and the water of affliction. They got the same diet you have. Right? They going through the same things you're going through. Yet and still, your teachers are not removed from you. They're still in front of your faces, right? As we have many teachers that we look to get understanding, right? Go ahead.
verse 21. This is Isaiah 30 and 21.
Right.
And thine ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, This is the way.
This is what?
This is the way.
Don't ignore that the Most High said you gonna hear it. It's gonna be an angel that speaks to you and said, This is the way.
Walk ye in it.
Do what?
Walk ye in it.
No, stumble.
Walk ye in it.
No, run the other way.
Walk ye in it.
Uh-huh.
And when ye turn to the right hand, and when ye turn to the left.
Right.
Right. So ye shall. That's that thing that's it on that. Right. But no matter which way you go, which way you turn, man, you got to understand. You got to keep the faith in the Hamashiach Yahawashi. Continue to do the works and continue to trust. Next precept.
I got it. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 1.
Come on.
The book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 1. Nakai, Sirach 2 and 1. And it reads, My son, if thou come to serve Yahweh, prepare thy soul for temptation.
You see that? Read.
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure.
Right. You got to understand what this truth is. It's not for the weak of heart, not for the faint of hands. This is for brothers and sisters who know that the salvation is at hand.
You gotta what it said, constantly endure. Right? It didn't say do a little bit, go back to the world, grow weary, fall short, give up, die. No, it said constantly, and you're gonna have to continue to prove yourself to the Most High. Right? And make not haste in a time of trouble.
Right, and that's double fold, man. You can make haste in a time of trouble. You can run from the deliverance. Right, you can be right at the cusp of the Most High coming down and answering that prayer, man, or to give you that deliverance, and you can flee. Right, the scriptures tell you the wicked flee with no man pursue it. Right, that's the on the right hand side, or you can read that again.
Constantly endure and make haste. And so and make not haste in the time of trouble.
Right, because now you done made haste in the time of trouble, and you done ran into more trouble. You see that? You thought you was in trouble, right? And that's what a lot of our brothers and sisters, you think that you in trouble. Wait till the Most High send your house shot back and crack the sky, man. Right? You think you under these curses. Wait till he come back and he judge you, man, based on your works and the manner of love that you have for this truth. Right? We're going to yield on that, right? That's Sirach 2.
So on this.
Go ahead.
Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whosoever is brought upon thee, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully.
Take what?
Take cheerfully.
Right, you got to take these things, man, cheerfully. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking about the brother with did the interview. The basketball player. That's folly. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep it rolling. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Okay, good.
And be patient when thou art changed to a lower state.
Good. Right? When you get changed to a lower state, you lose your patience, man.
Good.
Hey, man, I just got
you lose your strength.
Good. Right?
Hey, you might lose your damn mind.
But patience is strength, man. You know how powerful you have to be to withstand something, right? To allow the temperature to increase upon you, and you just to kind of sit there and smolder in it, if you will, right? You got to trust the Most High in these last days, right? So
for gold is tried in the furnace, an acceptable man in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him.
Right.
Ye that fear the Lord, wait on his mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall.
Right.
Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good, and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old, and see, did ever any trust in Yahweh and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever that called upon him? For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering and very pitiful.
Right. So this is why we can look upon these historical testimonies through the Spirit, and we can laugh at Satan, man.
That's right.
We can laugh at our adversary who seeks and roams, whom he may and try to take upon us, whom he may devour.
That's right.
Right. We look upon our ancestors and our forefathers. We see the strength that they had in patience and long suffering. and keeping the faith in Hamashiach and in the law. Right? So this is what gives us hope, man. We gotta have hope, man.
Come.
This morning,
Come. And forgive its sins, and save it in the time of affliction.
Mm-hmm.
Woe be to the fearful hearts and
the
faint hands, and to the sinner that goeth two ways.
You see that? The faint hands. Why? Because he's saying, woe to the one who has the faint hands. Why? This is Luke 9:62.
Bring it out.
Right, Luke 9:62. And Yahushua said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow.
Having what?
Put his hand to the plow.
You started to do the work, right? You started to bring forth fruits, but then you got weary.
Right, you just started getting blisters. Right, you're like, man.
You got pricked at the thorns and the vines.
Right,
and
brother got a hangnail. He's like,
right.
Oh man, I'm done, man.
Right.
Right. No man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom.
It's fit for what?
It's fit for the kingdom.
Con.
Right. You got to be willing to do this work, man. And you can't give up in this thing. You got to keep pushing.
Con. Let me finish this out.
Con.
Woe be to the fearful hearts and the faint hands, and the sinner that goeth two ways. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believed not, therefore shall he not be defended.
You see that?
Woe unto you that have lost patience, and what shall you do when Yahweh shall visit you?
Right. What you gonna do when he pull up on you, man? When he spin the block on you?
Come.
Right. This is Isaiah 35:3.
Bring it out.
Isaiah 35:3. Strengthen ye the weak hands.
Do what?
Strengthen thee the weak hands. And confirm the feeble knees.
And do what?
Confirm the feeble knees.
Right.
Say to them that are of the fearful heart, be strong.
Do what?
Be strong.
Not give up.
Be strong.
Nah, throw in the towel, brother.
Be
I done
strong.
had enough.
You got to be strong. Fear not. Behold, your power, the Most High Yahweh, will come with vengeance.
He will what?
Come with vengeance. Even Yahweh with a recompense, he will come and save you.
Come.
Right? It's not, you can't just be thinking on carnal level that he going, being in this earthen vessel, it's going to come with consequences. You can ask, you can do a deed, you can commit an atrocity, you can ask for that repentance. The Most High might grant that repentance. But being here on earth, you got Esau, our oppressors, you got these curses that you can't escape these things. So there's going to be an effect to the cause. There's going to be a cause to that effect, if you will, right? So this is Isaiah. So that's what it's saying, man. And I'm gonna read this verse 4 again. We're gonna keep it rolling. Say to them.
You read through 8.
You want to read through 8?
Read through 8.
Picking up at Isaiah 35 and verse 4. Say to them that are of fearful heart, be strong. Fear, be strong. Fear not. Behold, your power will come with vengeance, and even Yahweh with a recompense, he will come and save you. Then the eyes of the blind shall be opened.
The what?
The eyes of the blind shall be opened.
Read.
And the ears of the deaf shall be unstopped. Then shall the lame man leap as a hart.
You see that?
And the tongue of the dumb sing.
See that? That's the power of the Most High God. He's going to come back and restore all these infirmities that we dealing with. All these curses that we carrying. The Most High going to come back and put a halt to all those curses and restore us. Right? Go ahead.
Come. Picking up at verse 6. Then shall the lame man leap, Salakia. This is verse 6 after the colon. For in the wilderness.
For what?
In the wilderness.
In the what?
Wilderness.
Right.
Shall waters break out.
You see that? That living waters is going to break out. Right? Spiritually, we lost in the wilderness now.
But on a spiritual level, Jake in heaven.
Come.
Jake and Esau heaven. So he don't feel
lost in the wilderness.
Right. But I'm saying he that's the wilderness, yes. But Jake on a spiritual level, he is in Esau's heaven and not understanding that he's in the wilderness. So when he don't have that understanding, he's not going to receive his water.
That's right.
Because he don't need it.
It's not for him.
Come. Right? Verse 7. And the parched ground shall become a pool, and the thirsty land spring of water. In the habitation of dragons, where each lay shall be grass with reeds and rushes. All right, verse 8. And a highway shall be there.
And a what?
A highway shall be there.
The path of righteousness.
And a way, And it shall be called the way of holiness.
The what?
The way of holiness.
That's the same thing that whispered it was talking about, saying this is the way.
Mm-hmm.
A highway of righteousness, or a path of righteousness, or a road of examples from leaders, righteous leaders, is going to bring forth and pull you out of the world and show you that this is the way of righteousness. This is the path to the kingdom everlasting. This is how you get everlasting life, right? But it's not for the weak. Neither is it easy, right? It says, broad is the gate
and narrow is the way.
You see that?
Mm-hmm.
It's not for the double-minded, weak man, feeble in spirit. It's not for you, because the Most High is going to try you through fire, right? It's going to try you through spiritual exorcism, if you will. Right.
Go ahead. One quick precept. This is Romans 14:5.
Mm-hmm.
Romans 14:5. It says, one man esteemeth one day above another,
mm-hmm.
and another esteemeth every day alike.
Right.
Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind.
In his what?
In his own mind.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You have to be truly, utterly convinced that this truth is no mate to this thing, according to Isaiah 34:16.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is going to meet the mate of these scriptures, nor the power of the Most High God Yahweh.
And what is that? It's being strong.
Precept.
This is 2 Chronicles 15:7. It says, be ye strong, therefore, and let not your hands be weak, for your work shall be rewarded. You got to remember that the Most High already accounted for what you're lacking on this side. And the scripture said you're going to get it back 100-fold.
That's right.
You got to keep doing the work. As long as you able-bodied, as long as you got that spirit in you, as long as the Most High is still gracing your mind with understanding, you got to keep doing the work. We can't slow up. We're going to lose passengers on this road. We're going to lose members, right? We're going to lose daylight, right? You know what I'm saying? We still got to keep going.
Precept. This is Matthew chapter 19 and verse 29.
Bring it out.
And everyone that hath forsaken houses.
I think, what is that, 20?
It's 28. What you wanted?
Nah, start at, I think it's 20. All right.
All right. This is Matthew 19 and 20, right? Matthew 19 and 20. The young man said unto him, all these things have I kept from my youth.
That's not what I want. 27.
27. Okay. This is Matthew 19 and 27. Salaki and Nakai, right? Matthew 19 and 27. Then answered Peter and said unto him,
what he said?
Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee.
And what?
And followed thee.
Right.
What shall we have therefore?
Right.
And Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory,
right,
ye shall sit upon the 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
Doing what?
Judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
Right.
And every one that hath forsaken houses and brethren,
right,
or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life.
That's right.
Right. So we understand we brought that precept out because the brother had just paraphrased it through the Spirit. But you got to be willing to give everything up, man. You got to be willing to give a carnal mindset up, the way to thinking, that old man. You got to put that off every day.
Right. And you got to wait on the Most High. You got to wait on.
You got to trust that the new man is good enough. You got to really put that old man off, knowing that his deeds would never get you the kingdom, and that this new man who believes and has the faith of Hamashiach Yahushua and puts that on every day is going to get you to the kingdom.
That's right. And you cannot lean on the flesh of your own arms. You got to wait on the Most High. You got to understand that the like the brother was saying, the mind state, the spirit, right? What he's put in your favor and your mind, the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding, that is sufficient.
Enough.
That's the grace that he's saying has been. I've graciously given you wisdom. Hey, man. Knowing and understanding you're an Israelite is not enough.
It's half the battle, man.
It's not enough, bro.
It's not even half, really.
But when you know it and understand it, and you start to walk like it, let that gotta be enough for you, because it's so much within that, right?
Because that's why, so like that's why he's saying, to whom much is given, much is required.
That's right.
The Most High said, I could have gave this to anybody.
Con.
And I give it to you, and this is what you do with it?
Con.
Nah, bro. You can't have it. I need that back.
I need that back.
I need that back, bro.
And take not your Holy Spirit from me.
Con, Isaiah, Psalms 55, man. We're gonna keep it rolling, man. Like again, we under a lot of curses that requires a lot of precepts, man.
One precept at a time.
Con.
Right? This is James 1 and 2. The book of James, chapter 1, verse 2. It says, my brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations.
Now one can ask, like, man, what kind of joy does it look like? You know what I'm saying? You stubbing your toe, you're getting your car repoed, you're losing a loved one, right? You're getting oppressed every day by Esau on your job.
Right.
Why should I count that as joy? Right. What joy do I have in that? Right? Read on.
But see, that's the thing, though, Salakia.
Go ahead.
A lot of us brothers, you pray for discipline, you pray for patience. The Most High is not going to increase you. He's going to give you opportunities to be disciplined.
That's why I tell people
to be patient.
So like I said, a lot of us are praying for the Most High to remove things off of our back. You got to be praying for a stronger back, man. You got to really be praying for the Most High to increase your strength to carry that load that he gave you.
How do you get a stronger back?
Hey, man.
You got to exercise your back. You got to work.
Put these things
right? You know what I'm saying? It's certain things that the Most High got to try. Sometimes he got to try you and strip you down and bring you all the way down. So to the ground, to the dust. So when he begins to exalt you, and you may shift back a couple steps than when you're exalted, you've been so low that being set back from you still not back where you was. You're not stripped down to the ground. So you got to understand that the Most High is proving you. He's trying you. He's building you up because he might have a mighty work for you to do.
Precept. This is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 2 and verse 6.
And read through 9.
The Most High killeth and maketh alive.
Right.
He bring it down to the grave.
He does what?
He bring it down to the grave
and
bring it up. The Most High make it poor and make it rich. He bring it low and lift it up.
You see that? It's all the Most High is doing. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 8. He raises up the poor out of the dust.
He does what?
He raises up the poor out of the dust and lifted up the beggar from the dunghill.
Right.
To set them among princes.
To do what?
To set them among princes.
It's the Most High that's going to pull you up you're not going to pull yourself up from your bootstraps and then you get this glory story you can tell about yourself. That's the Most High's doing. It's him doing it. So when he bring you down low, right? And then he exalts you again. Now you can glory in him. Now you can give him the praise. Now you can talk about what he lifted you up from, right? Go ahead.
To set them among princes,
right?
And to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillar of the earth are the Most High.
Are what?
Are the Most High.
Read.
And he had set the world upon them.
He has done what?
Set the world upon them.
Right. The world being the Israelites. Right. Go ahead.
He will keep the feet of his saints.
Of his who?
Of his saints.
That's what proves to you that it's the Israelite. Because we know the saints are the ones that's made a sacrifice with him by covenant. A covenant with him by sacrifice. Right. Go ahead.
Verse 9, he will keep the feet of his saints.
Right.
And the wicked shall be silent in darkness.
They shall be what?
Silent in darkness.
Right.
For by strength shall no man prevail.
So no man is going to prevail by his own strength. You can't do it on your own. It's not in you. You got to when we read about all these mighty brothers from the scriptures, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, David, Solomon, Christ, Nehemiah, Samson, Daniel, so forth and so on. Bro, they did that through the power of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. They were nothing on their own. Everything that they gained, all the stories, all the glory that they've gotten from these scriptures being referenced as mighty men of the Lord, is just that. Mighty men of the Lord. It's the Most High that gave them that power. And neither can we do it on our own. It's the Most High that strengthens us. No test, no testimony. So if the Most High can't try you, then he can't use you.
Like we say, it's not only in you, It's got to be on you, man.
Con.
You got to have this thing in you, and you got to put that thing on every day, man. Right? And the Most High has the opportunity and the privilege to deliver us and pull us out of that dunghill. We're gonna keep it rolling through the spirit. Hey, Shalom, Sister Davia on the scene, man. Shalom, right?
Con. Shalom, brother. Shalom.
Con. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 6, and I'm gonna start at 10. Right? Hebrews chapter 6 and verse 10.
Bring it out.
For the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love.
He's what?
He's not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love.
Like it said in 2 Chronicles 15:7, your work shall be rewarded.
Con.
Right? Go ahead.
Right? Didn't the Most High say, Yahweh Shai say, what kind of father, if his son asked for bread, he would give him a stone?
Con.
Right? That's not who we dealing with. We have an everlasting Father. In
How
Yahweh.
much more than your Father in heaven?
Right? Didn't he not say in Matthew 6, right, and 33 on down, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven? But earlier up in that verse, he says, consider the lilies, right? Consider the birds of the field, whether they need to twirl. They don't store these things up, but yet the Most High still provides for them.
That's right.
You got to understand that the things that you're doing through the Spirit, the Most High is going to acknowledge those things, and He's going to provide those things through the Spirit.
That's
We're
right.
going to keep it rolling, right? This is Hebrews 6 and 10. For the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love,
right,
which ye have shewed towards His name.
Which what?
Shewed towards His name.
Read.
In that ye have ministered to the saints and do minister. And we desire that every one of you,
just a few of you.
every one of you,
go ahead,
do shew the same diligence to fill, to the full assurance of the hope unto the end.
That's
right. We got to make sure that we wake up the elect, man.
That's right.
Right.
That's what it's about.
We're not gonna get up out of here if we don't, man. Right? That's how we're gonna get out of here. Right? We're gonna keep it rolling. Verse 12. That ye be not slothful.
Be not what?
Slothful.
You cannot get finicky with this truth.
Come.
You could not get tired. You cannot get lazy, lackadaisical, lukewarm, if you will.
Come.
You can't. We can't afford that. We gotta wake up the elect. So ultimately, we can get out of here.
Come.
Right? Go ahead, King.
Be not slothful, but followers of them who through faith and patience.
Through what?
Through faith and patience.
Through faith and patience. Because you can have faith, but if you ain't got no patience, you can't exercise your faith.
Didn't the Most High not say in the book of James, faith without works
is dead.
Is dead, man.
What's the works? Keeping the commandments.
Salakia.
Go ahead, King.
Verse 13, for when the Most High made promises to Abraham, because he could swear by no greater, he swore by himself.
He what?
He swore by himself. The Most High put it on himself, man. He said, put that on me, man. I got you. Right, we're going to keep it rolling. What you got out?
Next precept is John 16 and 33. The book of John.
That's just cut and dry.
I'm going to start at 32.
Come.
It says, behold. Behold, the hour cometh, yea, is now come, that ye shall be scattered, every man to his own, and shall leave me alone. And yet I am not alone, because the Abba is with me.
Right, no matter, and that's got to be your mindset. No matter what predicament, what situation, trial, stumbling block that you might be in, you got to trust and know and believe that you're not in this thing alone.
That's right.
Right, read on out.
These things I have spoken unto you, that in me you might have peace.
In who?
In me ye might have peace.
You cannot find peace in and of yourself, right? You got to find it in Yahweh Shai.
It's the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And that's why you would never be alone.
How do you think that
because
you can
the spirit is with you?
How do you think that you can stare in the face of adversity, right? Looking at your accusers, like as Yahweh Shai did, man. It's his spirit that we have to have in us so that we can be able to overcome these things.
That's right.
Because he did it. Go ahead, Art.
In the world ye shall have tribulation.
In the what?
In the world ye shall have tribulation.
Hey, Yahweh Shai prophesying right here. Right? He said, hey, this is a precept. You're gonna be able to pull this up later on. Read on.
But be of good cheer.
But what?
Be of good cheer.
Come on.
I have overcome the world.
Right. So he's saying, look, I'm going to overcome the world. Don't worry. Put on me every day through the spirit so that you may be able to do the same things. That's what being Christ-like is.
And that's the same precept we brought out earlier in Sirach 2 and 10 when it said, Look at the generations of old.
Con.
How else is you gonna put on Christ unless you go back and reference it and then know how to apply it? Same way he did, same way Abraham did, same way Isaac did, same way Jacob did, and all the rest of our righteous forefathers, right?
Con.
Go ahead, Ken.
Con. This is Colossians 3:16. This is on point right here through the Spirit.
Con.
Right? Let the word of Hamashiach dwell in you richly in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing grace in your hearts of the Most High. These not only are the precepts opportunity for you to stay in the Spirit, but man, sometimes you got to put on a song, man.
That's right.
You got to put on a hymn, man. Some of them old hymns, man, to get you. That's what our forefathers and our foremothers did, man, to keep it trucking, man, to keep it going. Even when they didn't feel like from sun up to sundown, they had to, them old Canton spirituals, man. Right? We're going to keep it going. Verse 17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of Yahawashi Hamashiach, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by him. Right? Everything that we do, man, hey, give the Most High praise, man, in your work and also in your deeds. I yield with that.
By Shem Hamashiach Yahawashi.
All
right, this is the next precept, Matthew 25, verse 14. It says, for the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country.
Right, this is a parable. Follow along.
This is Matthew 25 and 14. For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. And unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to another 1, to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey.
You see that several ability. This is 3 different people. One given 5, one given 2, one given 1, but all of them got different spiritual offices. Right? Let's keep it going.
Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded with the same and made them other 5 talents.
Right. The brother came into the truth. He said, man, he gave me 5 precepts. He went and found 5 more precepts, man. Through the Spirit. Right? Now he got 10 precepts in this thing. He done built himself up. Right? Go ahead.
And likewise, he that had received 2, he also gained other 2.
Right. This brother, he took 2 precepts. And this can all, we're just using precepts as an example. This can be gifts, talents, right? You could have just been a reader. You could have been a writer. Now you done picked up prophesying. Now you know how to eloquently use the speech, break down the parables, the deep dark
oratorics.
Con.
But he that had received 1 went and digged in the earth and hid his Lord's money.
Right. So this is one brother who just grabbed a hold of this one precept, and it says Matthew 15:24. It says, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Because it's good enough for just Jake to just know I'm an Israelite. He closed the book. I'm going to lean on that. Right. And he buried that thing. Right. But let's see what the Most High do with this brother. Right. Let's go.
And so, Shalakia, after a long time, the Lord of those servants cometh and reckoneth with them. And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Yahweh, thou deliverest unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents more. His Lord said unto him, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things.
Right. He was been faithful over a few things. Now you've been proved. Now I can give you more. Right. Read on.
Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. He also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents beside them. His Lord said unto him, well done, good and faithful servant.
Right.
Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. Then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I know thee that thou art an hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed.
Come on.
And I was afraid and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast that is thine. His Lord answered and said unto him, thou wicked and slothful servant.
Thy what?
Thou wicked and slothful servant.
Come on.
Thou knowest that I reap where I sow not, and gather where I have not strawed. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchange.
Right, you should have put this thing to use, man. You shouldn't just know these precepts. You should be applying these things every day to your life.
It.
Come, man, making it double.
And then at my coming, I should have received mine own with usury.
Mm-hmm.
Take therefore the talent from him and give it unto him which had 10 talents.
Right, that's a fearful thing to fall into the hand of the Most High, to understand that you've been given something, a gift, no matter what it is, and he come back and he repo that thing, man. Right, go ahead.
For unto every one that had shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that had not shall be taken away even that which he had. And cast ye the unprofitable servant.
The what?
The unprofitable servant into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Right. So you got to ask yourself, which servant are you? Are you that unprofitable servant? Or are you that one that's going out here and putting the hand to the plow and you throwing seeds in this thing? You're sowing seeds left and right. Right. We're going to keep it rolling through the spirit. This is
the book of, you got it.
Psalms 37 and 7. Right. This book of Psalms, chapter 37 and 7. A couple more precepts, family. Right. The water for tapping in. Right. Psalms 37 and 7. Rest in the Most High.
Do what?
Rest in the Most High. And wait patiently for him.
And do what?
Wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way.
You see that? Because a lot of people, it can be very wearisome to see the worldly man
come up in this thing.
For lesser words.
And you the moment that, and that's how I knew the truth was for me, or that's how I knew that the Most High had us in our hands. I can speak for myself, but I know the brother got the same sentiments, is when we decide to go off in the world, we get chastised, rebuked off the muscle, right? But when the other worldly brothers, as this precept is kind of talking about, they are prosperous in their iniquity, right? And so us looking at this thing from a carnal level, like, man, these brothers can sin real good all the time, but the moment we go try to sin, we get chastised, we get rebuked, because you have been chosen, man. You have been set apart. All right, you got some more on that?
Con. No, you read.
Con, I was just saying on that topic.
Go ahead, King.
Con. Psalms 37 and 7. Rest in the Most High and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Cease from anger.
Do what?
Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil. For evildoers shall be cut off. But those that wait upon the Most High, they shall inherit the earth.
They shall what?
They shall inherit the earth.
So you got to understand, the Most High has spoken things and given promises that he has to hold. His word not going to come back void. All we got to do is hold up our portion. Lean on the Most High, trust on the Most High, keep the faith, and keep the commandments. Right? And the rest is going to be fulfilled.
A little more on this is Psalms 37 and 10. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be.
And the what?
The wicked shall not be.
Hey.
Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be.
It says, I want to say that's First Esdras. It says that this world he has made for many, but the world to come for few.
First Esdras 8, I believe.
8 and 1.
You paraphrase it though. We're gonna keep it going.
Right. This is the next precept. Is Psalms 138 and verse 1. It says, I will praise thee with my whole heart. Before the powers will I sing praise unto thee. I will worship toward thy holy temple and praise the name for thy loving kindness and for thy truth. For thou hast magnified thy word above all thy name. And the day when I cried, thou answered me and strengthenest me with strength in my soul. Right? So again, that recharge, that power, that spiritual strength that you needing in Babylon, in captivity, it only can come from your power. The power of the heathens can't charge up the power of the children of God. right? You know what I'm saying? And like we was giving the reference earlier, you're not going to take an iPhone charger and try to charge up an Android. You're not going to take some damn jumper cables and try to hook it up to your TV because it won't work.
Or the damn microwave.
Man. You're going to use the power that's sufficient for the specimen,
you know
the
why?
object.
Because
right?
It's broken down. It's on a metaphysic level or voltage level.
Right.
You got different kind of volts. You got the 110, you got the 240. The Most
you
High
gonna fry your damn TV.
So we got to understand the Most High has broken this down to certain voltages so that you can receive this thing.
Right.
Or you can go into overload.
Right.
You can fry your circuits, man.
Right.
Right.
Same way, plug it into these other powers. They're not powerful enough to charge you. Right. You know what I'm saying? And a heathen plugging into our power, it will fry their brain. They don't have the capacity to speak upon or receive our power. The name of the Most High, Yahweh is dreadful to them. Right? Let alone his power. Right? I yield on that.
This is Psalms 119 and 26 through 32. Psalms 119, 26. That's what I want. Yeah, 26.
119, 26 through 32.
And it reads, I have declared my ways, and thou heardest me. Teach me thy statutes. Make me to understand the way of thy precepts.
Make what?
Make me to understand the way of thy precepts.
Why? Because the word of the Most High is what's going to cleanse you. It's what's going to recharge you. It's what's going to build you up. It's what's going to enable you to be able to combat this world. Right? Go ahead.
So shall I talk of thy wondrous works.
Shall I what?
So shall I talk of thy wondrous works.
That's going to strengthen your testimony. Being able to lean on these scriptures, say, man, Job went through that. I went through that too. Man, Nehemiah was battling these. I went through that too.
You got to be able to. That's why the testimonies are beautiful. Lord willing, you should be able to see yourself.
The mirror. On the spiritual level, you just might. Right.
Right. So you got to see yourself in this thing, man. And that's why the scripture is saying Romans 8:16, the Spirit itself
beareth witness with our spirits that we are the children of the Most High.
Right, picking up at verse 28. My soul melted for heaviness.
Right. Strengthen
thou me according unto thy word.
Unto thy what?
Unto thy word.
Right.
Remove from me the way of lying.
See that's that American dream. Right. That's that chase the bag. Right. That's that happy wife, happy life. That's that pride flag. Right. All these different things is lies according to the word of truth. Right. Go ahead, King.
Remove. This is verse 29, Psalms 119 and 29. Remove from me the way of lying and grant me thy law graciously.
Thy what?
Thy law graciously.
Read.
I have chosen the way of truth.
I chose what?
The way of truth.
And we know the truth is the law, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High. Go ahead.
Thy judgments have I laid before me. I have stuck unto thy testimonies.
I did what?
Stuck unto thy testimonies.
You got to stick to these things, right?
You got to stick to you, man.
Right. If you reading these scriptures and you can't see yourself, you don't see the curses, you don't find mirroring similarities in these scriptures, you might need to check your ancestry. You know what I'm saying? You might not be of this stock.
Hey, I'll say this, man.
Read.
Right, verse 31 again. It says, I have stuck unto thy testimonies, O Yahweh. Put me not to shame.
Put me what?
Not to shame.
Read.
I will run the way of thy commandments. When thou shalt enlarge my heart. Man.
Plain upon tables, as my y'all should like to say. Right? Last precept.
I got one more after
Go
that.
ahead.
Well, let me bring this out. I know you can finish with that. This is Psalms 86, and a lot of these are prayers, man. A lot of these are when you go into these books of Psalms, and these are some precepts that can strengthen you, should strengthen you to continue to press on, man.
That's
to
right.
Run this race, man. To finish the fight. I know I said a lot of precepts.
I got another one.
Right. This is Psalms 86, and I'm gonna start at the top, man. Psalms 86 and verse 1. It says, bow down thine ear, O Yahweh. Hear me, for I am poor and needy.
Mm-hmm.
Preserve my soul, for I am holy.
Do what?
Preserve my soul, for I am holy.
Mm-hmm.
O thou my power, save thy servant that trusteth in thee. Be merciful unto me, O Yahweh, for I cry unto thee daily. Right? You got to throw these psalms up, man, every day. You got to sup with the Most High daily. Right? Rejoice the soul of thy servant, for unto thee, O Yahweh, do I lift up my soul.
Mm-hmm.
For thou, Lord, art good and ready to forgive, and plenteous in mercy unto all them that call upon thee. Are you calling upon the Lord when you being vexed? Right? Are you leaning on the Most High and not your own understanding when you're going through these trials?
That's right.
You got to ask yourself these things.
Mm.
Right? And you got to prove and you got to examine. I yield with that.
Con, this is 1 Corinthians 9 and 24. 1 Corinthians 9 and 24. And it reads, know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize.
You see that?
So run that you may obtain. You can't get the kingdom unless you're doing the work. He's not just going to hand it out to you. Why would he continuously say, be strong and courageous, keep the faith, endure to the end, to just hand it to anybody that's not putting in the work? They ain't no participation trophies with the Most High. It ain't no medals just because. You got to earn this kingdom, man. You got to fight for this thing.
Everybody don't get to make it to the championship and get a championship seed.
Good.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, dog.
Verse 25, and every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown.
You see that?
But we an incorruptible. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway.
Right. So that's
the unprofitable servant.
Right. Because Paul knew, like, I gotta control my member.
That's right.
So that other brothers can see that brother really is running out here. That brother is really applying the precepts to the best of his ability, man. And he keeping the faith in the law, man. And Hamashiach Yahushua. Got one more precept. 1 Corinthians 15 and 57. Right. 1 Corinthians 15 and 57. But thanks be to Yahweh, which giveth us the victory through our Lord Yahushua Hamashiach. This got to be your understanding always and every day, man. You got to trust that the Most High is going to give you the victory, right? Verse 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren.
My what?
My beloved brethren.
Hey, man, Salakia, brother. The 12 in the chat. Hey, brother, we all going through the same thing, man. Praise the Most High. It says a man going as of the Lord. A man direct order his step. A man devises his way, but the Most High directed his steps. Right. So it was the spirit of the Most High that led you here. I praise the Most High that you may be edified. I pray that the Most High peace and mercy be upon you, brother. Continue to endure by Shema Mashiach Yahushua.
Khan, this is for you. This is for us right here, man. This is 1 Corinthians 15 and 58.
Read.
Therefore, my beloved brethren.
My what?
My beloved brethren.
Brother, right? Go ahead.
Be ye steadfast.
Be what?
Steadfast.
Right.
Unmovable.
What?
Unmovable.
Stiff. Gird up and be stiff.
Right.
Stand strong for the Lord.
Right. The younger generation, they're calling it sturdy.
Right.
Right. You got to be sturdy in this thing.
Right.
It says, be ye steadfast, unmovable,
Uh-huh.
always abounding in the work of the Most High.
In the what?
In the work of the Most High.
In the work of the world.
In the work of the Most High.
In the chase after commerce, money.
In the work of the Most High Yahweh.
Read.
For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Most High.
Your labors, your work will be rewarded for those that minister and do minister. And we ain't just talking about getting up teaching and preaching and knowing precepts. You can minister by being a brother to your brother, right? You can minister by giving charity. You can minister by being a listener, giving your heart to your people, doing the work for your nation. It's many forms of ministry, right? So whatever is your lot, I pray that you fulfill that, right? I got one more precept in closing. You got something else?
No, I'm getting the last one.
I already got it.
Let's roll.
This is 1 Peter chapter 5, and I'm going to start at verse 6. 1 Peter 5 and verse 6. Salakia, brother had brought out.
Come.
And this is 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 6, and it reads, humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of Yahweh, that he may exalt you in time.
Mm-hmm.
Cast all care upon him, for he careth you.
Mm-hmm.
Be sober,
Mm-hmm.
be vigilant.
Come on.
Cause your adversary, Salakia, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
Right. And on the spiritual level, man, we gotta be like hey man, hey, we gotta go there, man. Like the Power Rangers, man. When they got together, man. When they assembled,
damn Megazord,
right? Man, nobody could stop them, man. That's what we gotta be like in this thing, man. We gotta
say we spiritual Power Rangers.
Hey, man. You got, but look, all of them have different talents, man.
Yahweh Rangers.
Cuz we talk about the Yahweh Rangers in this thing.
Good, man.
What's your power, man? What you bringing to the table? Good. What's your brick look like in this thing, man?
Hey,
Lord willing, man, you see what your brick is, and if you feel like it is small or minuscule, ask for the Most High to increase your learning so that you can see what profits you can bring to the kingdom. Man.
That's right. That's right.
We love our brothers and sisters, man, and we pray that this breakdown was edifying to you. That no matter where you are in this walk, it's a lot.
Verse 9. Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. Like we said, bro, we all going through the same thing, and we all striving for the same kingdom. We all get the same penny. All of us, bro. The brother that's teaching, the brother that's listening, the brother that's speaking, the brother that's handing out flyers, the sister that's sewing fringes, the children that's listening to their parents, right? We all get the same penny, bro. Verse 10, but the power of all grace, who hath called us unto his eternal glory by Hamashiach Yahushai, after that ye have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, settle you. To him be the glory and dominion forever, even forever. Amen.
Right. So you got to be built up in this thing, man. But you got to be shaken. You know what I'm saying? You got to be like when you land a foundation, man. You till the ground up. It's kind of lumpy at first, and they come through. They smooth it over, and they come through and pack it down, and then they start laying the foundation on top of that thing. That's what you got to be doing. That's what the Most High is doing to you when you just coming into this truth. And whether you still in this truth for 20 years, the Most High can still bring you down and bring you to a lower state to continue to prove you, man.
Why?
There's no complacency in this thing.
Why? Because we rehearse a righteous act for the kingdom to come. Right? Go ahead.
One more in 1 Corinthians 10, right? 1 Corinthians 10, I'm going to start at 11. Right? 1 Corinthians 10 and 11. Now, all these things happen unto them for ensamples, and they are written for an admonishing, upon whom the end of the world are come. So Most High Paul is telling us, hey, all these things that you're going through is examples, man. Right?
That's right.
Verse 12. Wherefore, let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall. There have no temptation taken you.
There have what?
No temptation taken you.
I quoted this earlier. Go ahead, King.
But such as is common to man.
Right.
But Yahweh is faithful.
He's what?
He's faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. You got to be able to go into these precepts, and this is your escape, man. You got to be able to come into this thing, read these precepts, and you should be able to spiritually, on a celestial level, remove yourself from the world, man. The scriptures tell you to be absent from the body is to be present with the Most High, man. You really got to go into a different realm, man, on a spiritual level when you read these precepts, so that you can be present with the Most High Yahweh, so you can escape these curses. That's the only way you're going to do it. I yield with that.
Man, if I don't close this Bible, we're going to keep going, man. Praise the Most High. The water for all the brothers and sisters that tapped in. We pray that it was edifying. We sincerely love y'all. Yahweh Yahweh Shai Al Shamar Al Atah.
Come.
We thank you for tapping in with us. We end by saying we give all honor and glory and praises to the Most High Yahweh. We do so in the name of His only Son, Yahweh Shai. Right? Double honors to the elders of the house of David, as always. The water for the sincere brothers that's been putting in this work for generations. Right? Mighty, 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 mighty shalom to all of the saints, the Kadashium, the children of Israel, scattered throughout the four corners. Again, we thank you. We pray that you stay tapped in with us. Like, share, subscribe. Again, in closing, our beloved brother Kananya that has transitioned into the kingdom. We are to be back with the Most High. If it be on your spirit, right? We ask that you donate to his family, right? This cash app will go straight to his family for anything that they may need, right? With that, I say shalom, shalom,
Shalom, shalom.
shalom. Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.